The first mermaids in world mythology trace their origins back to ancient civilizations, with early examples appearing in Assyrian, Babylonian, and Greek mythologies. These early tales featured water deities and half-human, half-fish creatures that would eventually evolve into the modern image of the mermaid. Here's an exploration of some of the earliest mermaid-like figures and stories in myth. Atargatis, the first mermaid, ancient Assyria. The earliest known mermaid figure is Atargatis, an ancient Assyrian goddess of fertility and water, who is often considered the first mermaid in recorded history. According to Assyrian mythology, Atargatis fell in love with a mortal shepherd, but accidentally killed him. Overcome with guilt and sorrow, she tried to transform into a fish and live in the sea. However, her beauty was too great to be entirely concealed by the transformation, so only her lower half became a fish, while her upper half remained that of a human woman. Atargatis was worshipped as a powerful deity who governed water, fertility, and life. Oannes, fish god of Mesopotamia. In Mesopotamian mythology, Oannes was another early figure that had characteristics similar to mermaids or mermen. Oannes was an ancient Babylonian deity who was half man and half fish. According to Babylonian legends, Oannes emerged from the sea each day to teach humans writing, the arts, and the sciences before returning to the ocean at night. He was considered a wise and benevolent figure, often depicted as a man with the lower body of a fish. Although Oannes was more of a fishman than a traditional mermaid, his role as a sea deity influenced later myths about aquatic creatures. The sirens of ancient Greece. Although not originally depicted as mermaids, the sirens in Greek mythology were dangerous creatures who lured sailors to their deaths with their enchanting music and voices. In early Greek depictions, sirens were often shown as half woman and half bird, but over time they became associated with the sea and were later reimagined as mermaids in some interpretations. The most famous sirens appear in Homer's Odyssey, where Odysseus encounters them during his journey. By the Hellenistic period, sirens and mermaids became more closely associated, and the sirens' qualities of allure and danger were transferred to mermaid mythology. The Ningyo, Japanese fish people. In Japanese mythology, the Ningyo is a creature that closely resembles a mermaid. Unlike the beautiful European mermaids, the Ningyo were often described as having the face of a human but the body of a fish, and they were not known for their beauty. Instead, these creatures were often seen as omens of disaster. It was said that eating the flesh of a Ningyo could grant immortality, but the creatures were also said to bring misfortune if caught. Stories of Ningyo can be traced back centuries in Japanese folklore, showing how the idea of half-human, half-fish creatures transcends cultural boundaries. African water spirits, Mamiwata. In African mythology, particularly in West Africa, the figure of Mamiwata is a powerful water spirit often depicted as a mermaid or a snake charmer. Mamiwata, which means mother of waters, is known for her beauty and supernatural abilities. She is revered as a protective goddess who brings prosperity and health, but she also demands respect and can be dangerous to those who cross her. Mamiwata figures prominently in African and African diasporic religions, including Vodou and Santeria, where she symbolizes the balance between the human world and the spiritual world of water. The evolution of the mermaid image. Over time, these early water deities and figures, such as Atargatis, Oannes, and the sirens, merged with local folklore in different parts of the world to create the image of the modern mermaid. European folklore played a major role in this transformation, with stories of beautiful, alluring, and sometimes dangerous mermaids becoming prominent in medieval and Renaissance times. The depiction of mermaids evolved from being closely associated with gods or supernatural beings into mythical creatures themselves, embodying both the beauty and danger of the ocean. In conclusion, the first mermaids in world mythology began as ancient water deities and aquatic beings with both human and fish-like qualities. From the Assyrian goddess Atargatis to the Greek sirens, these figures paved the way for the modern concept of the mermaid, a figure that continues to captivate and intrigue cultures worldwide.